virtual chat. I am Brittany with the Discover Dairy program, and we are so excited that you are joining us today as we get to meet Farmer Maggie and, of course, your adorable adopted calves, Dorito and Violet. Today's chat wouldn't be possible without the generous support of New England Dairy and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. So thank you to both of those organizations for making today possible. First, this live chat is part of the Adopt a Cow program. So for anyone that's new to Discover Dairy and Adopt a Cow, it is a free online resource that covers Common Core standards in math, reading, and science, all while using dairy concepts to teach those lessons. The resources can be found at discoverdairy.com, and we'll go ahead and put that in the chat for you so you can access those resources easily. We'd also love for you to join the Adopt a Cow Fund next year. So if you're interested in joining again, or you stumbled upon this live chat and you want to join the program, you can register starting May 1st. In the meantime, feel free to go to discoverdairy.com/adopt, ADOPT, and submit your email address in the small form on that landing page. And by submitting your email, you will get a email notification on May 1st letting you know that registration is open. Next, everyone continues to join us live today. We are really excited to have you all. As you can see, that live chat feature is enabled. We are seeing some of you comment and join us today, which we're really excited about. Please feel free to keep using that that chat feature on Facebook or on YouTube. We're excited to see your comments, but just please be mindful. We want to make sure we keep our questions and comments related to the chat and school appropriate. I know Farmer Maggie is really excited to hear your questions and answer them. So again, don't forget, throw your questions in there as we're chatting with Farmer Maggie and meeting our calves today. We will make sure to answer those questions towards the second half of our live chat. So before we join Farmer Maggie over at Emma Acres, we're going to see who's joining us quick. So let me hop over to that chat and see who is online with us. So let's see, we have Miss Butera's class in West Warwick, Rhode Island, who's joining us, an adopted Dorito. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Let's see, we've got another Rhode Island school, the Rhode Island School for the Deaf in Providence, Rhode Island. Hello, good morning, everyone. Let's see, we've got another one who has, oh, very cool. They've adopted from another farm, but they were interested in checking out someone else's live chat. So they're actually from Winchester, Virginia. So hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us for Emma Acres live chat. We're excited to have you. We've also have Miss Melissa, who's from Cranston, Rhode Island. Welcome, good morning. And let's see, someone who's watching from Ella Risk Elementary in Central Falls, who also adopted Dorito. So welcome, good morning. We're really excited to have you all. Thank you for joining. You all found that chat feature, so please keep using that. Go ahead and drop your questions in there that you have for Farmer Maggie. We're excited to answer them. Oh, and one more came through here, a 5th grade class from North Providence, Rhode Island, who adopted Violet. Awesome, we've got some love for Violet too, which is exciting. So thank you all for joining us today. We are really excited to have you. And without further ado, I am pleased to introduce you to Farmer Maggie. Hey, Farmer Maggie, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for asking, Brittany. As Brittany had said, I'm Farmer Maggie, and we are in our heifer pen here at Emma Acres in Exeter, Rhode Island. I have Dorito helping me with the live chat. Not Dorito, Violet. Oh my gosh. Violet helping me with the live chat right now. On our dairy farm, we mostly have Jerseys and Holsteins, which both of the breeds are represented with the Adopt a Calf program that we are doing. Violet is a Jersey, so she tends to be smaller in stature than the Holsteins, which Dorito will come out in a second and we'll be able to see her. I am the farm manager here at Emma Acres. My parents own the farm. We milk around 30 cows and then have about another 20 heifers running around as well. And all of our milk goes to the Cabot Co-op, or Agrimark, but you guys know it as Cabot in the grocery stores. So our milk gets turned into butter and cheese and all sorts of good things.
Love
if
Cabot
you
cheese.
want, it is a customer favorite, it seems.
Yeah.
If you want, we can move into an update about the calves. We can start with Violet, since she was just out here. Now, the way that I get the weight measurements and the height measurements, they're kind of just an estimate with this weight tape that we use. They're kind of a simple way to get a weight of a calf because obviously I can't get a calf to step on the scale very easily. So Violet is a little bit more spunky than Dorito, so she might not let me show you guys here right now. Yep, she's gonna run away. But I did get a measurement on her earlier, and she was about 370 pounds, and I want to say she was around 45 inches tall.
Wow.
So that's an updated measurement, rough measurement, because she didn't let me get too close to her with the measuring tape. But Violet just got moved into this pen outside last night, so she's still getting used to her surroundings and becoming friends with the other cows in here. She is pretty lucky though, because she got to meet two of the cows that she is pen mates with while she was still in the calf barn. Dorito and then Barry, the other calf, they were both in the calf barn in the same pen as her. If we want, we can go and find Dorito. She is inside at the feed bunk. In this pen, the cows have an inside area where they can get out of the weather and they can eat without rain falling on them and stuff. And then they also have a big outside turnout so they can go and sleep in the sun and do that sort of stuff.
Nice.
Let's see. Dorito will probably let me actually measure her. She's pretty calm.
I was gonna say she's pretty relaxed here with us right now.
Yes. So if I get a rough height estimate, it's about she's about 55 inches. And then the way that we measure her weight is we just do the area around her belly. And she is roughly 662 pounds. So she is the exact size she is supposed to be for 6.5, 7-month-old Holstein. And Holsteins are pretty cool because they can come in two different colors. They can either be black and white or red and white. And Dorito here obviously is red and white. And in this pen, they have access to water and hay. They just have to stick their head through here and they get their hay right in front of them 24/7. They have hay, and then they get grained twice a day. And they're getting about 8-ish pounds of grain twice a day.
Wow.
Dorito is a lot more friendly than Violet. Violet is still very friendly, but Violet likes to kind of march to her own beat of drum or whatever it's called. And she is wild. Right now she's being like a wild animal, but Dorito is always willing to go out on a halter. And when we've had some of the Adopt-A-Calf classes come for tours here, Dorito has gone and taken pictures with them.
Aww.
And she's always very excited to see any of the students that have adopted her. And she loves licking people's hands, and cows cannot bite because they don't have top teeth. So even though it looks like she's trying to bite me, she really is not accomplishing a whole lot.
Just giving you a lot of love right now.
Exactly. She's like a giant puppy.
Not in personal space.
No, not at all.
Oh my goodness. Now, you mentioned a halter. Do you mind just explaining what a halter is and why you use it to handle animals?
So it's basically like a leash for cows, except it does not go around their neck. It goes around the back of their ears and over their nose and then under their mouth also. And it's just a way that we can move them and like if the vet comes and has to give them shots and stuff like that, we'll put a halter on them and we will tie them up to the fence, and then the cows are just contained in a safe manner. Right. We also show our cows, a lot of them. So in order to show, they get walked around in the show ring on a halter. So that is why most of our cows are halter broke.
Yeah, it certainly makes it easier to handle them because they're big animals. As you just said, 600 pounds, and she's only 7 months old. So, she's like 600 pounds now. What does that mean? How big will she be when she's full grown? And when do you consider a cow full grown?
I believe cows stop growing around 2.5 to 3 years old. I could be wrong on that though. And Holsteins, I want to say, get up to around 2,000, 2,500 in weight. I'm really bad at estimating weights, but I want to say that is how big they get. And her mom is one of our tallest cows that we have on the
Oh.
farm. She's not the biggest weight wise, but she is very, very tall.
Oh, well, that makes for a good show cow, that's for sure, to have nice long
Yeah.
legs. And do you
Yep.
mind do you mind explaining a little bit what it means to be a show cow? So you mentioned taking them to the fair. What's the process like when getting an animal ready for the fair, and what do you look for in an animal to be able to show them at the fair?
So everything you look for a cow to be a good show cow is how will she be a good milk cow and um, be able to have a long productive life in a production herd. So you want their feet and legs to be, obviously these cows get to be very tall and very heavy. So you want her feet and legs to be correct enough to be able to sustain being holding up her weight. And then you look for like Dorito is a very good example of this as she's gnawing me, like a lot of capacity in her ribs. So like her belly goes far down. Dorito. Um, and that would be like she was able to grow a big baby when she comes to
Mhm.
have a calf and stuff like that. And then as they get older into the milk herd, it's about how their udder composition is correct. And you don't want an udder that would drag on the floor because then it would be dragging in the manure and then your
Right.
milk would be dirty. You want udders that are high and away
Mhm.
from the ground so that they stay clean.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, she's definitely posing very well for us to be able to see her body frame right now. So, would you consider her kind of like a high end athlete? It sounds like you get her ready. She's got to have good body structure. She probably goes on a special diet, right? It's you would
Yep,
would you
yep.
consider it like an athlete?
Yes, that is a very good way to describe them. They are supposed to be when they are going to the show in their peak performance bodies, basically.
That's very cool. I love that.
And
Oh God.
and Dorito will be at Washington County Fair this year. If any of the local students know Washington County and Richmond, um, she will be there, I believe, all week, and you guys can go and visit her and see her there. She will be getting
Oh,
shown by one of my niece who is 8 years old. Will be showing
oh,
her.
oh, that's so exciting. Yes, that would be awesome. That's very cool. And what time of year is that fair?
That is in the second week of August or third week of August. It's in August.
In August. Awesome. Oh, that sounds so exciting. She seems like the perfect show animal. Like she's very friendly. It looks
uh,
like you could put a halter on her and walk her no problem.
yes. Yeah.
Oh man. And what about Violet? Will Violet ever make her way out to a show, or is she kind of
Um,
probably going to stick around at home?
she might hang out at home. She is much like naturally just a smaller cow and cows her age. So she wouldn't necessarily be at her peak performance body to be able to compete. But as she gets older, she will probably grow into that. She comes from one of our favorite cow families here. Her grandma's name is Victory, and she is one of our favorite cows. So I'm sure Violet at some point in her life will make it out to a show, but not this summer.
Not this summer. We got to get a little bit more height on her first.
Yes.
Nice. Speaking of height, we had a student in Miss Beretta's class who was wondering who is your biggest cow on your farm?
I believe it is probably Dorito's mom. Her name is Delightful. I don't know exactly how tall she is, but her shoulders do stand. I'm 5'6", 5'7" ish, and she stands a little bit taller than me. So she is a
Oh,
very big cow.
oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a big
Yeah.
animal.
Yep.
Wow. We had another student who asked, how old will Dorito be when she has her first baby? And that can be for Violet too.
Most cows will have their first calf when they're about 2 years old. That is when they enter the mature lactating dairy herd on our farm.
Okay, so about 2 years old, and then they have their calf and they join the herd. Now, will they have one calf? Will they ever have twins or triplets or anything like that? Or what's pretty typical?
They, for the most part, dairy cows tend to have one calf. They can have twins. It is rare. I want to say we've had two sets of twins on the farm in my lifetime that I can remember.
Mhm.
And there are farms that have triplets, but it does put a lot of stress on the cow
Sure.
when they have that many calves. So you always hope for just one healthy calf.
Right. Nope. And that makes sense. One healthy calf. And how often do they have a baby? What's their like gestation period for a cow?
They are just like people. They have a gestation period of 9 months, and they get the last 2 months of their pregnancy off to go on vacation. And that pen is actually right next to the pen that we are standing in on that side. And they hang out and get ready to have another baby. And
Oh,
they
very cool.
are generally having one calf every year after the age of 2.
Okay. And so that's a pretty normal cycle for a cow then. It's about one time a year.
Yes.
And so if you don't mind walking us through briefly what that milking process is like. So they have that calf, the calf, goes into their separate pen and then the mom joins the milking herd. What does that milking process look like for the cows on your farm?
They get milked twice a day, every single day. So that means on Christmas and Thanksgiving and my birthday and the cow's birthday, every cow is getting milked twice a day, every day. 365 days a year. And so that means every 12 hours they are being milked on our farm. And it is 5 in the morning and 5 at night that the cows get milked. And the cows come into the parlor. I milk 8 cows at a time on our farm. And I prep them. So I'm cleaning their udder to remove any sort of cow manure that might have gotten on there, and make sure that the milk is all healthy and good to be sent to the milk supply. And then I attach the milking unit, and it takes them about 5 minutes to milk out. And then they go back out into the herd and they get to socialize with the rest of the cows. So generally on our farm, the cows spend about 15 to 20 minutes in the parlor total for each day. And the
Wow.
rest of the day they spend sleeping and eating and hanging out with their friends.
So they only work 20 minutes a day and then they get to go and relax the rest of the day. That's
Yes,
incredible.
cows have a great life. I wish that I was a cow, because they sleep like 8 to 12 hours a day and eat a lot of food and just get to be happy and hang out.
Yeah, clearly these two are buddies right now, and I love
Oh,
that they're
yes.
just hanging out. That's adorable. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And I know everyone's always curious about the milking process. It sounds very quick for them. Sounds like it's a longer process for you since you've got to milk them all. But
Yep.
it sounds like a pretty relaxing experience for them. We had a funny question come in, and this is from Ms. Fleming. They were wondering if cows can stand up on 2 legs.
They can't necessarily stand up on 2 legs and walk around, but they can occasionally, you'll see them like almost bucking like a horse or something, and they'll be jumping around, and they will be on 2 legs for probably no more than 20 seconds, and then they go back down on their front legs.
Right. That makes sense. Oh, we're getting some tongue action here. Typical Jersey, right?
Yes.
I love that. Oh, this is an interesting question. They were wondering if Violet or Dorito or any of your animals have a last name, or do you just refer to them as a first name?
They all get, so we actually name our cows. We have an interesting way on how we name them. Each cow family has a different letter that begins their names. So Violet's mom, her name is Vendetta. So V and V, that goes together. So all of the V cows on our farm are related to each other. And Dorito, her mom's name is Delilah. And Delightful, I mean, Delilah is her relative that was just born in the calf barn.
Oh.
And then like there's also, for the D family, we have Dasher, because she was born around Christmas time. So like
Aw.
the reindeer Dasher. And that's how we choose their, like, a way to name them is we
Right.
need a letter to start with. And then they are all registered. So that means that they are have a certificate that comes from their breed association, and it just recognizes that they are 100% purebreds and that they can be shown. And their names for that, it starts with our farm name, so it's always Emma, and then it is their dad's name and then their name, and that would be their like official legal name. So Dorito, her name is Emma's Unstoppable Dorito, because her dad's name is Unstoppable. And Violet's dad's name is Grumpy, so she is Emma's Grumpy Violet.
Those are a heck of a name. I see why we go by
Yeah,
Violet and Dorito now.
exactly.
That's cute. Thank you for that. We have a third grade at the International Charter School wondering what is the ear tag? What's the tag on their ear and how do they get it?
So they do not have any tags on them yet, but some of our older cows do. It's no different than like getting your ears pierced. It's called like a piercing gun, kind of an ear tag gun that we use. And it just is just like going to Claire's or wherever you get your or piercing place to get your ears pierced. And you just feel their ear and you put it in, but you put it in the middle of their ear. So like when it's time to give her a tag, her tag will go right in there. They don't even feel it. And it's an identification. So we have what's called 840 tags. They are little white buttons and they actually have a microchip in them. And that tells you, if you scan the microchip, it tells you the cow's name, how old she is, what farm she came from. And that's how we know if she's had her rabies vaccine or any other vaccines that the vet has given her. And then the purple tag has her number. So we're looking at Naughty right now. That's her name. She is number 169. So she was the 169 Jersey calf that we had born on the farm.
Gotcha.
It says her name, the day she was born, and then her sire's name or the dad's name. So it's just kind of identification so that we are able to keep all of the cows straight. For the most part, we know all of our cows without the ear tags, but it just makes it a lot easier in case the vet is here and we need to be doing stuff. And I just tell them, oh, you need to go and get number 169. Her name is Naughty.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that is what the ear tags are.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I love that it allows you to be able to just know who they are right away. I love the little microchip idea that you can see everything then. I don't know. I think that's really cool that all that information can be in one tiny little tag. Very neat. We had, oh, Miss Goldman's class was just saying hello to Dorito. They were just giving a little shout out to Dorito. They were wondering if cows lay down to sleep or if they stand up to sleep.
For the most part, cows lay down. Like I had said, they sleep at least 8 hours a day, if not more. They are very sleepy creatures. And I have caught a cow standing and catching a little bit of a nap before, but for the most part, they are laying down. Dorito just drank some water and it must have made her feel a little chilly because she just shook in front of us.
That's funny. This is an interesting question. They were wondering if all cows are dairy cows.
Not all cows are dairy cows. We actually here have some beef cows in the pen right next to Dorito and Violet. We have some weaned beef calves that will be going into our beef herd. So it all depends on what breed the cow is, just like there's different breeds of dogs, there's different breeds and types of cows. So if it's a dairy cow, they are meant to produce milk and they tend to be a little bit, people think that they look skinny, but they do not. They just show more of their bone structure because they are putting energy into making milk. Whereas beef cows tend to have a little bit more coverage over their bones and they might be a little rounder. And that's because they put their feed energy into making meat for us to eat. Both of them have their jobs.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and these ladies, that's what we were just talking about. They're athletes, so they gotta, be fit and lean, and that's just how they are.
Exactly.
Very cool. Let's see. We were just wondering, just to confirm, someone had adopted Violet, and they know how old Violet is. Are Dorito and Violet pretty close in age?
Yeah, I want to say they're maybe 3 weeks apart. Dorito was born in the beginning of September, and Violet technically was born like at the end of September. I know for the Adopt a Calf program, we want them all within 2 weeks of each other, but I'm a small farm, so we had to bend the rules so that I had 2 calves available.
Absolutely. Someone was wondering if you have any newborns right now at the farm.
The youngest one that I have is actually Violet's niece, if you want to call her that. Violet's sister just had a baby about 2 weeks ago. So that would be the youngest and smallest one that we have right now.
2 weeks old. They're so cute when they're that little. Let's see. Miss Formica was wondering, what was the first cow your farm ever had? Do you know?
So I believe I was about 2 years old when we got our first cow, and it was my sister's show cow, and her name was Molly, and she went on to be related to just about all of our herds. She was kind of our founding mother, if you'd call her that. And her name was Molly, and she was a very, very good cow who lived a very long, happy life.
Aw,
But that
I
was a
love
very
that.
long time ago.
Right. Yeah. No, I love that. It's funny. My sister's favorite cow growing up, because I also grew up in a dairy, her cow's name was Molly too. That was her
Oh,
favorite cow. So it was a coincidence. Um, oh, this is an interesting question. They were wondering if cows can jump.
Well, I know the nursery rhyme goes, the cow jumps over the moon. I've definitely seen some cows jump things that I was surprised by, but they'll get playing and they'll horse around and jump and play and stuff like that. So they can jump. They are not like a kangaroo and jumping super high, but they do bounce around a little bit.
Yeah, and play, I'm sure. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. They were wondering if cows can run or move quickly, fast, or, can they sprint, or what does that look like for a cow since they're kind of just chilling
They
right now?
they do run. So when we clean their pens every week, we remove them from the pen, and then we clean it with the skid steer, and we put fresh bedding down, and that always makes them very excited, and they will run and jump and do all sorts of crazy things. So
Farmer Maggie, I think we're slightly losing you. We're just having some bad service here for a second.
environment get it.
Oh, maybe. Do you want to try that
Can
one more
you hear
time?
me?
There we go. Now
Hello?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay.
We
All
were
right.
we were frozen there for a little bit, but try that one more time. You were saying how they were jumping around, and when you put fresh bedding in, and they just
Yep.
love to run and play.
Yes, exactly.
I love that. Awesome. That's adorable. So we are gonna be getting ready to wrap up here today. I actually have one more question from somebody that asked. I think it's pretty interesting because right now it's pretty quiet behind you, partially because you have a headphone on. But they were wondering if cows, like they were wondering if they can hear cows moo. But I thought I'd let you answer, do you often hear them moo, or is it usually pretty quiet on the farm?
It's generally pretty quiet around feeding time. Everyone kind of gets all excited and they're mooing, and that's because they're like, "Oh, come give me some extra food." But for the most part, it's very quiet here. Occasionally, if there's something exciting going on, you might hear a moo. The calves love getting attention. So in the calf barn, if you go and you're giving them attention and then you leave, they might moo like, "Oh, come back and give me more attention." But
Right.
for the most part, it is very quiet and not much mooing happening
Yeah.
here.
Which is good, right? Usually if they're mooing, it might mean they're really excited or it could be something's wrong. So you're looking for a quiet cow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. And so, Farmer Maggie, thank you so much for doing this today. I have one final question for you then. And clearly these calves love you. They are loving up on you. You clearly are doing an amazing job. But farming is hard work, and I think some people don't quite understand just how hard it is. So I would love to know, what's your why? Why have you chosen to be a dairy farmer and a farm manager? Why did you choose this life day in and day out? And we'd love to know your passion behind it.
I get asked this question all the time, and you would think at this point I would have a very good answer. All I can think about is it is a passion. Not many people get up and do what they love every day. And I mean, every day we are here, and obviously it has to be something that you are very passionate about if you are going to commit this time to
Yeah.
raising cows. And it is so watching calves that we like were born and you raise them and then they calve in and they have more babies, and like watching that whole cycle of life kind of happen
Yeah.
always warms my heart, and I'm like, oh, this is why we do it.
Right.
But no, it is a passion. It's in my blood. My grandfather had one of the oldest dairy farms in the state before they had to sell out in 2015. But it's been a family business for quite some time now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. We really appreciate your dedication and hard work to the dairy industry. I mean, the cows love you, they're happy, they're content. And of course, you're producing really nutritious, clean, safe products for us to consume and send it off to Cabot so we can have that delicious cheese and just other dairy products like ice cream and milk and yogurt and all that kind of good stuff. So from us, we really say thank you for all of your hard work, for being an amazing host farm, and of course, for being part of this program because this has been a lot of fun following you and your calves. And I know everyone's been really enjoying Violet and Dorita this year. So thank you so much for letting us kind of take this virtual step onto your farm and just really get to love up on these girls. Before we jump off today, is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody?
Just that for any of the schools that are local, you are welcome to come to our farm stands during our normal operating hours and meet the calves. And as always, know that the dairy that you are buying in the grocery store is healthy and local.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Living in the Northeast up here, I think we have a pretty good benefit of always knowing that our milk is local. There's so many dairy farms up in the
Yep,
Northeast region here, and I love that. I love that we can tell that story and milk leaves the farm and it's in your fridge within 48 hours, which is really cool.
exactly.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Farmer Maggie. This has been so much fun. There's been many, many thank yous coming in and just saying thank you for doing this for us. And thank you all for joining us today. We had a lot of fun answering your questions and chatting with you. Anyone that's watching this on a repeat or record, thank you so much for joining us and watching it back. And thank you, Dorito, for letting us hang out with you today, and Violet, wherever she is. She's hanging out in the back somewhere. So thank you all for joining the program. We look forward to having you in the program again next year. And Farmer Maggie, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.